What's up, Palace Huddlers? This is going to be a short episode with just me, but we're going to talk about the Ian Cunningham and the Jacksonville Jaguars news. We're going to talk about how the Chicago Bears just added $10 million to their salary cap. That and more in this quick, short episode.
Welcome to another episode of the Palace Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts.
The middle of the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5, touchdown Bears!
Hey, Palace Huddlers, how's it going? It's just me on this episode once again. I just wanted to jump on because I got back from vacation yesterday. Actually, almost today. It was almost midnight when I got back from the airport. But I wanted to touch base on some topics breaking type news that happened today. Some things that are going to affect our mock off season a little bit too. So before we start, I just want to remind everyone that we are in the process of doing another Chicago Bears or NFL jersey giveaway. Okay. In order to be entered into this drawing, right? It's a drawing for one jersey that's going to be given away. In order to be entered into this drawing, okay, there are a couple rules. One, you need to be subscribed to the channel. Two, you need to comment "huddle up" on the mock off-season episodes. There are 3 of them. This episode is not one of them. Do not comment "huddle up" on this episode unless you want to just for the fun of it. It will not get you an entry into the drawing for the giveaway that will take place probably within a week or 2. 2 parts are already out for this mock off season. Part 1 was the contract extensions that we decided we might do and roster cuts that we might do, which we'll talk about that here shortly a little bit. And then part 2 was free agency. Okay, we focused on free agency, guys who needed to be re-signed, guys who basically, in fact, that's also where we talked about extensions, and guys who, off the streets that we were bringing in. Added some pretty big names. We were kind of big spenders, still had a lot of money left on that salary cap to make a couple additional moves, but also roll over into 2026. So again, go check those 2 out. Make sure you comment on those episodes with Huddle Up. Be subscribed to the channel, and then you will be entered into the free jersey giveaway. Okay. Let's quickly talk. I don't have any slides for this. Let's quickly talk about the Ian Cunningham situation. So breaking news as of today, Ian Cunningham will not be moving on from the Chicago Bears. He will not be taking the Jacksonville Jaguars general manager position, which means that the Chicago Bears will not get a 3rd round compensatory draft pick this year and a 3rd round compensatory pick next year. Had he signed as the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's what the Chicago Bears would have gotten. Now, I want to preface this. I've seen a couple of things out there and that have made it sound like they would be getting these draft picks from the Jaguars. That is not the case, okay? It doesn't come from the team that hires the minority candidate to be their general manager or head coach. It's also a head coach situation. It does not have anything to do with what the team has and what they're having to give up. These are compensatory picks that are added from the league, so therefore they will be slotted in behind the free agency compensatory picks. If your team loses significant players and doesn't add significant players, you can get a compensatory pick the following year. Those will be slotted in first, then the head coach or general manager minority ones will be slotted in next. Those will also go in draft order rankings. So if multiples are hired in the same year, whoever was, the first pick in the draft is going to get the higher pick than the pick that the team that's sitting at 15, for example. Okay. Now, it would have been nice to have those picks. It really would. I wouldn't be surprised if Ian Cunningham wasn't as excited about that job, which may have led to him not getting that opportunity. However, what the Jacksonville Jaguars did is they hired the Rams college scouting director, James Gladstone, who honestly I had not heard of. I'm not dive deep diving into some of these administrative guys unless it's truly affecting the Chicago Bears this year. And I did not think Ryan Poles was going to be fired, so therefore it wasn't something that I was even concerned with. But he is now the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's crazy is he's only 34 years old. Okay, I'm much senior than him. And he is now going to be operating and running the personnel for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A little bit crazy, but Ian Cunningham is staying. So guess what? That means he can keep Ryan Poles in check when he wants to trade up for a player like Rome Odunze, who ended up falling to them at 9 anyway, right? We have that passion and we like these guys. And sometimes we just want to make that big move, make sure we get the guys we want. Thank goodness Ian Cunningham kind of reeled Ryan Poles back. I think they're a very good team. So I am excited for the fact that he's getting these opportunities to interview. He had it last year as well with Tennessee, a couple other teams. I'm also happy that he didn't go anywhere. So it's kind of a win-win situation, I think, for Chicago in this situation. So that's it. That's the breaking news regarding Ian Cunningham. He is not going anywhere. They are not getting any additional picks for 2025. So what we see is what we're going to get, right? And I will preface this. I already talked about it in our other episodes. Part 3 of this mock off season, which is, again, part of the jersey giveaway, not this episode. Part 3 will be coming out very soon, and it will be a mock draft generated by Bob, Justin, and myself. We're going to try to make it as realistic as we think possible, but you guys have to understand, draft boards can be kind of all over the place. Analysts already, you go out to Pro Football Focus, it's different than Pro Football Network. It's different than the Draft Network. It's different than the 33rd team 33, whatever the hell they're called. It's different than your local analysts. It's different than mine. I have my own rankings that are still being developed. So there's a lot to go into it, but we're going to do our best to try to make this one as most likely as possible as far as outcomes go. There might even be some future episodes with some alternative options that could come into play that will not be a part of the jersey giveaway. Again, 3 max entries that you can get. Comment Huddle Up on each of those 3 episodes. 2 are out. 1 is going to be out very soon. Now, when we were doing those mock off seasons, we had projected, or we didn't, but Spot Track had projected that the Chicago Bears would have, I'm going to get you the exact number because I still have it, we'll just call it $65.9 million, okay? $65.9 million in cap space, and that had them as the 4th most cap space in the league. The Patriots were number 1 with quite a bit of money, and then you had the Raiders and Washington at 2 and 3. Okay, so the Chicago Bears are in a great position for free agency. I'm not going to give away any of the moves that we made. I should say that. I'm not going to give away a lot of the moves that we made in our previous episodes, but I will have to talk a little bit about some of the decisions that we made. But if you're new to this channel, go back and check those out. I think they were great episodes, so check those out. One of the things that we had talked about were roster cuts, okay? We had a bunch of cut candidates that we had discussed. Gerald Everett would save them over $5 million. Kevin Byard would save them over or right at $7 million. DeMarcus Walker a little over $5 million, and so on, right? We decided for sure as a group, Justin, Bob, and I, the House Huddle team, decided for sure that Gerald Everett and Ryan Bates needed to go. I was on the fence with DeMarcus Walker. He was a guy I was like, I think I could get rid of him and find replacement level production elsewhere, within free agency and the draft. I do think Austin Booker is going to take a little bit of a jump this year. At least I hope to see that happen. But Bob and Justin, for the price, they thought that the value was there for DeMarcus Walker. And I couldn't completely disagree with that. So as a group, we decided to hang on to DeMarcus Walker in our mock off season. Well, lo and behold, the Chicago Bears decided that DeMarcus Walker was not in their future plans. I know he's 30 years old, but he did kind of seem to fit the prototypical size and type of defensive player that Dennis Allen needs. The one thing, though, is I will say, and it's probably, could be the deciding factor in why he was let go. is that I should say Dennis Allen likes bigger defensive ends who like to set the edge, but can also get to the quarterback. Again, that kind of fits him, but the rushing, the run defense could be a little bit better. And to be honest, his pass rushing can be a little bit better. He's just kind of like a guy. He's a solid guy. And I wouldn't hate that he would be on this team, but I understand the $5.2 million that they would be receiving in salary cap savings. The other breaking news is that Gerald Everett was also cut. So we got one already out of the three, and we were, tiptoeing around the idea of getting rid of DeMarcus Walker as well. So it kind of makes sense from our perspective to see both of these guys go. I will put this out there. If I don't see Ryan Bates cut, I am going to have words for Ryan Poles. Ryan Bates is not someone that I would be holding on to for $4 million. That's how much you would be saving. There's literally zero dead cap if you cut him. The guy cannot stay healthy. He's average at best. So let's move on. Please give yourself another $4 million to work with. Right now, Chicago Bears are sitting at almost $75 million in salary cap space. Again, we will adjust those numbers behind the scenes. We are also considering with the increase in cap that we might actually switch up one of the players that we signed in our mock offseason free agency episode. We are doing that also behind the scenes. All of that will be recapped within our next episode and our recap episode that will take place after the fact, where we will go through and actually present who we have as, our starters on both offense, defense, and possibly a few honorable mentions of guys who are rotational enough to be mentioned, right? So, again, big news for the Chicago Bears. Ian Cunningham is staying. They're not getting those additional compensatory draft picks. They already made some roster cuts in Gerald Everett and DeMarcus Walker. Those two cuts are now putting them at over $10 million that they earned in salary cap savings for 2025. What do you guys think? Hit the comment section. Please hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Hit the like button. But go to the comment section and let us know. Did you want DeMarcus Walker to stay? Do you think Gerald Everett should have stayed? Are both those guys who you felt needed to go? What are your thoughts about Ryan Bates? Why is he still on that team? Right? Let's move it back just one. I know we talked about it a little bit in the other episode, but any of these names jump out at you that could or should be the next guy's cut or traded if they can find a trade partner for any of these guys going forward. That's it. That was what this whole episode was for. I just wanted to get in front of the camera here and talk about, again, some of this breaking news with Ian Cunningham staying, roster cuts that are taking place, and also remind everyone, look out for the part 3 episode of the House Huddle mock off season so you can get a third entry to that NFL jersey giveaway. Also, if you haven't, go back to episodes 1 and 2. All you have to do is say huddle up in the comments and you're entered, right? Or if you want to add more context, huddle up with whatever else you want to tell us. Maybe we want to have a debate. I've been debating with a few people already on some things. Please just go have fun. That's what all this is about. The offseason should be fun. The Bears should always win the offseason. I'm just hoping now with Ben Johnson in place, they can start winning the regular season and possibly the postseason as well. All right. That's it for me. Chicago Bears fans, huddle up. House Huddlers, bear down, claws up.